Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. In today's video, we'll look at some creepy and interesting TikToks that will make you question everything. Let's get it.
Tell y'all true story, Big Boom. Watch this video to the end. No more ice cream for me. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
Man, I wish you would have got it on video though.
What?
Me breaking it, because I was just breaking it, and then again.
That's literally all metal.
Come on.
Like, if she would have got her test,
No, it's not.
That's fucking crazy.
That is so crazy.
Literally almost gave this to our 3-year-old daughter.
I keep scooping.
And
Chill.
The more we go in there, the more metal we find.
Come on, man.
That's crazy.
That wasn't metal. That was chocolate sprinkles. Come on.
What is that? Is that more metal or hair?
That's hair or sprinkles, bro. It's not metal.
I don't know, but
Look, I just scooped it.
what
The middle of the ice cream.
No, it's not.
Brand new ice cream.
She's crazy.
Are you kidding me? Shut up. What do you mean, metal? That's not metal. Don't say that. That was either black pepper, sprinkles, or maybe somebody dropped their hair in it. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what those people are talking about because there was never no metal in my ice cream. I just bought the ice cream yesterday. I looked through it thoroughly. I ate the whole thing in one night, and I should have never did that. Shut up. It's not a game out here, guys. All those little snacks that you like late night, you better start paying attention. You know, we living in a time where you just can't eat. You gotta examine what you eat. You know, but back in the days, you could just chomp it down in your mouth. But now, you better watch what you eat. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You know what time is it? That's why I don't eat ice cream like that no more. I had to slow down. You know, people were telling me, stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You know what time is it? But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever buy one of these ice creams, or any type of ice cream, and I open it up, and I see that little black stuff, I'm like, you know what? That's my sign to not eat ice cream. That's it.
We should just be buying ice cream and trust that everything that's in there belongs in there. Now we gotta be investigators.
I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like the next pandemic is actually going to be a massively crippling tech hack. Where the best, and it's going to be somebody who has bad intentions. The best way, like think about what's the best way to disrupt America other than all the easy ways to do it. It would be to disrupt how we use all of our digital stuff for like a long period of time. If we lost the ability to communicate, to be able to pay for anything, to be able to consume for entertainment, to be able to turn on our alarm to protect our house, all of these different things. If somebody just incapacitated us in the worst way possible for like a week, what would happen? And I know people think about this and worry about this, but now it's like, I just feel like with AI and all the stuff that people just seem to be getting better.
The terrifying moment a driver plunged a staggering 40-foot headfirst off an unfinished bridge after following Google Maps on his phone. CCTV footage shows the BMW flying over the bridge, slamming bumper first onto the pavement and nearly flipping into oncoming cars. The shocking crash happened in Indonesia when a 61-year-old man took the wrong turn while following Google Maps and flew through a gap in the concrete barriers. Medics arrived at the scene and both the driver and his passenger miraculously survived the crash. The driver told reporters, "The road suddenly became dark and there were no other cars. Then I realized there was a problem when the car started falling and crashed on the ground."
I thought Google Maps relied on satellites. Evidently, a few satellites were out of commission.
This is wild. Today, April 5th, Kawasaki released their robot horse. It kind of looks like a motorcycle, except that it has 4 legs. And instead of it using battery or gas, it is fueled by hydrogen, a clean energy, so that it can last much longer. And unlike a motorcycle or a real horse, this thing can go up and down crazy terrain like you can see here, rocks, mountains, and it's also meant to carry stuff and people. It's called Corleo, and riders can control it the same way they do a motorcycle, where they're using and shifting their center of gravity. There are also sensors in the handlebars and the foot pegs, and there's adjustable stirrups for optimal riding. Now, this thing has a navigation that also has sensors that will tell you exactly how you need to position your body for the best ride. Now, Kawasaki has not said how much this is going to cost, but they've thrown out numbers that it would be around a high-end motorcycle. So $75,000 and up. I think this thing is going to fly off the shelves as long as nobody flies off of the handlebars. My question to you is, do you want a robot horse, and where would you ride it?
Wait until someone shows up to the Kentucky Derby riding this.
Dr. William Mount and Channel 77 in Seattle. People ask me why Walmarts are closing. The answer is simple. When I took an Army logistics class, the U.S. Army developed a logistics system for Walmart. Walmarts were strategically set up around the world to act as military distribution bases. So if we have problems in Yemen, the Special Forces takes over the Walmart in Yemen. You can order a helicopter and nuclear weapons on the Walmart logistics system. There's a back door into it. They taught me that. If you are going to have Operation Jade Helm throughout the Southwest, you seize a Walmart. You can order things such as M16 rounds. You can order an M16 through the Walmart program. So they walk into a Walmart, fire 2,200 people in California. You're all laid off, go away, no unemployment, get out of here. Because the military then takes over their base. The specific logistics program I was trained on in California is the same program they use at Walmart. The Walmarts are federal military posts. How many Walmarts they have, they get extra money from the government. And when the government takes over, they get a fortune from the government. Those products are redistributed to other Walmarts. In addition, the American dollar is no longer being accepted in a lot of countries. Walmart can't get products. Nobody will exchange the American dollar for the toys that we're getting at Walmart. Sorry, it's the way it is. The end game is here. Folks, if you get laid off from Walmart and Home Depot, they're similar to colleges that are federal repositories like Humboldt State University, where they have underground battalion headquarters, Evergreen State College in Washington. Thousands of colleges have pre-prepared military bases underneath them. The Walmarts and the Home Depots are the same way. So if you're working for Home Depot and you get laid off, go to another one. But that's likely to get laid off. Because as poodly hits the fan, this is what is in our Department of Defense manuals, to seize the Home Depots and to seize the Walmarts and use their logistics program to order our weapons to kill us. It's the way it is. Sorry. I've been trained on it. I'm one of the few officers that was trained on the Walmart program. The entire class was enlisted except me.
And all this time I thought Walmarts were closing down due to increased theft, but now we know.
In a long-forgotten episode of The Simpsons from 2002 titled The Trade Whisperer, Homer accidentally becomes a trade advisor after spilling nachos on a world map, sparking a bizarre tariff strategy. The episode parodies then-billionaire Donald Trump, who appears as a hologram in Springfield, ranting about bringing jobs back by taxing everything, especially Canadian bacon. Fast forward to 2025. Fans claim the show eerily predicted reality when President Trump unveils sweeping tariffs on imports, citing economic kung fu inspired by an old TV show. As tariffs spiral out of control in the episode, even Ned Flanders snaps, shouting, "Doodly darn government took my maple syrup." Meanwhile, Mr. Burns profits massively by monopolizing domestic toothpick production, prompting Smithers to remark, "Sir, your evil truly transcends borders." In 2025, as news of the real tariffs spreads, internet sleuths dig up clips from the episode, flooding social media with side-by-side comparisons that fuel the theory. The Simpsons didn't just predict the future, they warned us.
At this point, we can't really be surprised at the Simpsons predictions. I made it to call the writers up and ask them for the Powerball numbers for next month.
In the 1950s, the U.S. Army launched Operation LAC, Large Area Coverage. They sprayed a mysterious chemical over entire American cities, including St. Louis. The people never told, no consent. Officials claimed it was just a test of how things spread. But documents later revealed the chemicals could be harmful, even radioactive. How many people were exposed?
Okay, in case you didn't know, a shipping container mysteriously washed ashore in Kingston, Jamaica, Saturday, April 5th. Now, the picture that you're looking at is, in fact, the shipping container that washed ashore. Now, this wasn't a shipping container filled with products from Amazon or Shein or some goods going to another country or coming to their country. This was a shipping container filled with meat, raw meat, chicken at that. Now, don't you think that's kind of mysterious for a shipping container filled with meat to just wash ashore, like out of nowhere? It sounds like a setup to me. I mean, that sounds like a major setup. Now, we all know that meat has to be properly stored and delivered a certain way because the temperature, especially with chicken, can bring up certain E. coli, listeria, salmonella, etc., right? So why would a shipping container filled with meat just magically wash ashore, knowing that people are going to rush to it, open it up, see what's in it, see that it's free food, run home with it, run back to work with it, take it to their businesses, open up shop and just start cooking and selling it, right? Feeding it to their families, feeding it to their kids. This raised major alarms to health officials, and they went to the streets and made broadcasts letting people know not to eat that meat. If you went and took some of that meat, to please properly discard it and get rid of it. Do not consume that meat. We have to be aware of what's going on out here. Everything's a setup. Don't fall for the tricks. Don't fall for it. Hope everybody's staying safe and stay away from that meat. Do not eat the chicken in Jamaica. Peace!
Take that. Come.
At least they got washed up on the shore in packages, but this would be the wrong kind of meat to go barbecuing with.
Definitely believe that this is not the only plane that exists. And Elon Musk said that there's a 1 in a billion chance that this is base reality. And the reason I know that to be fact is, the Tesla has a biometric camera on it. That biometric camera on that Tesla can pick up the life force of a human being, basically, and show up on the camera.
It's crazy.
You take your Tesla to the graveyard, you're gonna see people walking around that you cannot see with your own 2 eyes. You can pull this up right now.
Whoa.
People are freaking out about it. You take your Tesla to the graveyard. On your camera, you're gonna see humans walking around, but you go look out the window and not see nobody. That's why I believe that this world is some sort of a stage, because the afterlife obviously takes place in a different dimension.
Life before you experience this creature, and then now you know that this is a thing.
It's a thing, yeah.
What is the rest of your life like after that day?
How do you explain this? If you could imagine the entire human race, you and me, you don't have to talk to me, but you can feel my presence. You can feel who I am, my personality, and share in all of that. Then imagine that by millions. The entire planet, you can actually commune with them. It brings with that a level of civility in the control of your thoughts, because right now, we don't read each other's minds. So our minds are like, oh, look at that girl. Oh, look at that, the sports over here. There's a football game on. We're so distracted. But this guy's, when I was engaged with him telepathically, it was like civility to the maximum. It was like very courteous. He waited for me to say. He'd talk. And it was like, just like we do, we have certain etiquette. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, there was this part of him that he left me with that was part of the community of the consciousness that he is able to feel all the time. And that has never left me, is that there's a community of consciousness out there.
Can you believe that Lego's new factory, the size of 62 soccer fields, will run entirely on clean energy?
The billion-dollar factory that's opened in Vietnam will be powered by over 12,000 solar panels and large battery systems, making it the country's first fully renewable powered plant. Lego already have an annual production of around 100 billion bricks across the globe. Although the toy maker does face challenges with the iconic plastic bricks, the company have pledged to reduce its carbon footprint and switch to sustainable alternatives.
And they plan to do it as early as next year.
Cat Williams, you betrayed us. Remember, it all started when you was exposing the industry on the Shay Show. And when you was doing comedy, always exposing the truth. But what I want to know is, what is this? Huh? Now you went from exposing the industry to working with the industry? I'm confused. This was for GQ. What is this, bro? And I know what that chain means. People are saying that Cat Williams is a warlock. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. Out of all the outfits you could have wore, why this one? Why this one? What's up with that hat? What is going on here, Cat? I thought you was on our side. I thought you was here to wake people up. But it seems like you went back to sleep. Now, I got no problems with Cat Williams. I'm not here to discredit him or anything. He's a funny person. He's a great comedian. But I don't like when people switch sides without ordering an extra side of fries. What I want to know is, why would the industry want to work with somebody exposing the industry? Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that he's a controlled opposition. People are saying that. I didn't say nothing. But I just think that he's just playing his position. Shh! Shut up! This video is for entertainment purposes only. I like Cat Williams. I'm just trying to understand, why did he switch up on us so fast? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here.
That black robe looked like an occultic outfit.
They're bringing back the woolly mammoth for what purpose?
That one is for a plethora of reasons, but the main one is to combat climate change, because woolly mammoth stomping in ice returns the Arctic tundra to more of what it used to be, which is like an icy plains as opposed to a wooded area. And it's complicated. You can read about it, but long story short, by them knocking over trees and crushing down the snowpack, which creates like an igloo, a warming effect, that can cool the earth up to 6 degrees, which is a lot. Which slows down the melting of the permafrost, which is what's releasing so many carbon emissions into the atmosphere in the Arctic. So it's a whole cyclical thing that helps combat global warming.
What kind of benefit does the company get out of that?
They will make billions and billions of dollars in carbon offset credits if they're successful.
What is that, a government type of funding?
Carbon offset credit is if you can prove that you are combating the amount of carbon emissions that we're putting into the air, then you get paid a credit. And so, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't think it's government. It's more like global.
Decarbonization is definitely a necessity, but I don't think bringing back the woolly mammoth to combat emissions is the best approach. We may just want to increase forestation.
It's Issa Rae. I love her. Wait, what is she? What is she wearing? Weird. Her friend too?
You guys don't have to close the store anyway. It's up to you, but you contaminate the food. I don't know.
Any call 83170.
Yeah, sure.
Do you need another plate on there? Okay, go ahead.
He's gonna get. Watch out, guys! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Hey, watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
That coyote is probably hiding out for his overnight shift.
What the happened to Jenna Ortega, y'all? This the same girl that played Wednesday? The same girl that was on a Beetlejuice movie? Y'all trying to tell me that's her? If so, that's crazy to me, y'all. She look different. Am I tripping? Look at the picture, y'all. Look at her jawline. It is a little sharp still, but look at her jaw. Look at her eyebrows. Look at her whole head. Come on, y'all. That is night and day. Can't y'all see the difference? What, she got a whole makeover or some shit? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not crazy, but that don't look like Jenna Ortega to me, y'all. Look, I know people change. I know people grow up. I know they change their hairstyle, hair color, but her whole face is different. All I'm saying is, y'all know how Hollywood is. The crazy thing is, I'm not the only one that's saying this. It's numerous of people saying it. And she's been quiet. Quiet as of late. Like not a peep. And she's normally not that quiet. Y'all can call it glow up, grow up, all you want. I'm just saying, That ain't the Jenna Ortega I know.
She looked like she had like one or too many plastic surgeries.
Microsoft has created a new state of matter. It's not liquid, it's not gas, and it's not a solid.
Flubber.
It is called topological state, or Majorana particle. It's a phase of matter that only exists at the quantum level. And so they're basically using this new state of matter to create the Majorana 1 chip, and it has the potential to hold more computing power than every other computer combined on Earth. And it's the size of your hand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But the big problem with the quantum computers is that they're operating at like 1,000 bits or whatever. To achieve the full potential of a quantum computer, they need to be achieving 1,000,000+ bits. And this new state of matter will allow them to achieve that.
Golly, dude, that's scary.
It has different conductive properties. It's exponentially faster.
You want me to play the audio of the lady actually explaining it so we have a better understanding?
Would love to.
Okay.
Can you change it to a man's voice?
Watch it.
And this year, we're able to control it and use its unique properties to build a topoconductor that operates as a superconductor. With this material, we can build a whole new foundational architecture for our quantum computers. A topological core, all in the palm of your hand.
Mathematically, it's possible to have a particle that is its own antiparticle. That means you can take two of these particles and you bring them together, and they could annihilate, and there's nothing left.
Anyway, speaking of Project Paperclip.
Wake up, babes. New Titanic info just dropped. Why is 2025 suddenly the year of breaking news? This is my favorite kind of news where cutting edge science is helping shed new light on old stories. So let's get into it. An underwater exploration company called Magellan just created the first complete digital map of the Titanic using two underwater robots named Romeo and Juliet, although Jack and Rose would have been perfect. Am I right? These robots captured over 700,000 images from every angle possible to create a digital twin of the famous ship. No one has seen the Titanic like this. In the past, we've only gotten glimpses and snapshots of the wreck in the murky darkness from submersibles. But this digital twin gives us a clear view of the entire shipwreck for the first time. So the Titanic lies in two pieces on the ocean floor, with the bow and stern about 2,600 feet apart. The bow stands eerily and perfectly upright as if it's still on its maiden voyage, while the stern is a complete shattered, tangled mess of metal. And researchers were never able to definitively say how this happened. But now with this digital map, it's revealing answers and new evidence from what is essentially an underwater crime scene, confirming long-held accounts and testimonies of the Titanic survivors. Probably the most haunting revelation involves the portholes. The map shows 3 with their glass intact, but this one is broken, likely smashed from when the infamous iceberg scraped past. This matches survivor testimonies who reported ice actually coming through people's cabins during the collision. Then there's the boiler room evidence. At the back of the bow where the ship split are these 4 circular structures. These were the massive boilers that powered the ship. 2 appear concave, suggesting they were still running as the ship sank. Researchers also discovered this steam valve in the open position, indicating steam was still flowing to keep an emergency generator running. This explains why survivors mentioned that the lights were still on even as the ship went down. And this was thanks to the engineering team led by Joseph Bell, who bravely remained at their posts shoveling coal so that the crew had enough light to launch lifeboats safely. And the science behind this mapping is pretty incredible. This tech combines photogrammetry, which is a technique dating back all the way to 1858, with LiDAR to reproduce an object down to the most minute details. Professor John Key-Pake from University College London led the recreation to recreate the moment the Titanic sank. And their simulation reveals that the Titanic just grazed the iceberg. But that slight contact caused a series of puncture marks all along the hull, which opened up the ship like a zipper. Each hole was only about the size of a piece of paper. not the large gashes that many of us probably imagined. But the entire allure for the Titanic was that it was supposed to be unsinkable. It was designed to stay afloat even if 4 watertight compartments became flooded. So what happened? The simulation answers that too. The iceberg's damage spread across 6 compartments. Though each hole was small, there's just so many spread across the entire ship that water flooded in way too quickly, and by then it was game over.
Right, so KFC have made their own toothpaste with its signature 11 herbs and spices. And this is not a joke. The only joke here is the price tag, which is $13. And yes, it did sell out immediately, but why would KFC do this? It's completely way off brand for them. But in this case, I don't think it's KFC's fault. I think it's their collaborator's fault, which is High Smile. And they make a bunch of funky flavored toothpaste, which is sort of their brand and what they're known for, so I get that. But considering most regular people would hate this idea, I tried to do the impossible, and I tried to make KFC toothpaste look more appealing than regular toothpaste.
Hopefully that toothpaste doesn't taste like their fried chicken or biscuit.
So you're telling me a whole tech executive, his wife, his 3 kids, all unalived in this helicopter because the pilot decided to take off and didn't have any fuel? They said the pilot said that they were running out of fuel. Come on now. How did that even happen? Something's not adding up. The guy who was unalived on this helicopter wasn't just a random guy, y'all. His name was Agustin Escobar. He was the CEO of Siemens Spain. That's a major international tech company. It's crazy. They had just landed in New York from Barcelona that morning, and later on in the day was unalived from a helicopter. Out of fuel my ass. How do you fly a whole tourist helicopter over the Hudson River and not know that you were out of fuel? Make it make sense, y'all. Please, make it make sense. They didn't have no emergency route. They didn't have no emergency landing. They don't check shit like that before they even take off. Now here's the kicker. The people who were eyewitness that said they seen the whole thing said that the helicopter just broke into pieces in mid-air, y'all. They said they heard like a sonic boom. That don't sound like a crash to me. That sound like something hit it or something malfunctioned. Like, how did that even happen? Now, I know helicopters, planes, anything can malfunction, but not out the random. That's why you got routine inspections. So if this thing was at the point of just crumbling like that in mid-air, how was it even eligible to take off? How was it even eligible for people to get on that jump? So that's not making sense to me, y'all. I'm not saying it's a setup. I'm just saying powerful people seem to disappear or get caught up in situations like this a lot. The history goes deep. Somebody knows something, or I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
One of the first things I check when I get into my car is the gas level. I thought that would be the same for those pilots.
Small coffee, medium coffee cup. Look, 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 look. Look. Wow. Yeah. So now medium, large, watch. No way. So this is to do with the circumference on the bottom of the cup. So interestingly, whenever you buy yourself a large coffee, you're actually just getting a small. Weird.
Some absolutely tragic scenes are coming out of the Dominican Republic this morning. Over 113 people have died after the roof of an iconic nightclub in the country's capital collapsed during a concert attended by musicians, politicians, and athletes. There were 800 people inside the venue when this happened, and they had all come to see the performance of legendary singer Ruby Perez. Now, initially reports said that Perez had been rescued, but unfortunately we now know that to not be true. He was found alive under the rubble, but he later died due to his injuries. Some of the victims also include Governor Nelsie Cruz, who is also the sister of 7-time Major League Basketball All-Star Nelson Cruz, former MLB pitcher Octavio Dotel, and World Series winning Dominican baseball player Tony Cabrera, who actually reports say heroically saved his friend by pushing him out of harm's way before being fatally struck himself. Now, we still don't actually know why the roof collapsed, especially at a time where so many people were inside the venue. But of course, as we know more, I'll keep you guys updated.
Crazy.
Do you know what a waterfall really is? It's not just falling water, it's a portal, a gateway between worlds, a place where time bends, where the past is pulled into the future, where the river surrenders to the unknown. No two waterfalls are ever the same, not in their shape, not in their flow. Each one is a signature of power, a fingerprint of the earth, written in motion. A waterfall is both destruction and rebirth. It is the river unmaking itself, not to disappear, but to become. Waterfalls are places where energy shifts, where spirits pass through, where the veil between worlds is thin. Stand before one, and you will feel it.
A waterfall being a portal seems a bit strange, but I've always wondered where waterfalls get their water from. If that's been the same for you, drop in the comments. But that's it for the video. Thanks for coming through, but before you leave, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.